Hi guys, welcome back to another Daily Tarot card. These are your Daily Tarot cards for Friday, December 16th, 2022. Today we're pulling from the Sacred Rose Tarot cards. So we have the Three of Swords in reverse. The healing has taken place. It's like allow these things that are taking hold of you, that are holding you back in life to just fall out. So making that stance. I went through this after Shane passed away and I was like, 2018 Christmas was there. I did not decorate the tree. It just killed me. And then it was just like, for New Year's to come by felt like 10 years. And I was just like, you know what? I'm like, I refuse to live in this energy anymore. I refuse to let this take hold of my life. You know what I mean? It's just like life is worth celebrating. I say this all the time. I felt like I was in a chrysalis for so many years. That healing had to take place. Is this, me taking that stance saying I refuse out loud, I refuse to live in this energy. You know what I mean? It's making a stance in our life. I drew the land, the line in the sand is saying like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. Like I love him. I mourn him. It's just like, the last day he was on earth, we had a conversation. It was just like, make sure no one eats the rest of the lasagna. I said no problem, it's yours. I'll make something else for dinner for everyone else. You know, I sat there, made sure he had his wallet, his keys, his cigarettes, his phone, his backpack, everything he needed. I sat there, made sure his car was warmed up for him, his coffee, made sure he was all good, made sure that, when he was backing up, no one came freaking rushing down the road to T-bone him. So, he went to work feeling loved. He left this earth knowing that he was loved. He transformed knowing that he was loved. You know what I mean? So it's just like there's nothing more for me to do here. It's just like I felt what I needed to feel. It's horrible. I need to accept the situation I was in. I finally came to terms with the fact that he was now transformed. Now I had to accept my life. And that was the hardest thing because we worked so freaking hard to get to the point we were. And it's like, you know what? I did it once before. I'll do it again. And that's exactly what I'm working on. It's like I'm going to take that energy that I'm wasting, in a situation I cannot change, and I'm going to sit there and put it in a positive situation. I'm going to work my butt off and get to exactly where we were, but this time I'm going to make the better decisions. You know what I mean? Hindsight is 2020. Like you learn a lot of things you didn't know. Things that go on behind the surface that maybe you overlooked or you just didn't want to believe. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you sit there and you transform and you move forward. The Ace of Cups, I feel like once you allow this healing to take place, once you accept this situation, all these peace is the major thing coming in here. Peace with the dove here. It's a bloated dove, so it looks like a graduation hat. But it's just like, a holy sacrament. But I feel like you're missing a lot of opportunities. Universe did say earlier, like your head is at the ground. Like you're missing all these opportunities because you're looking down. Look up. Look up. Sit there and hold your head high. You know what I mean? Sit there and enjoy life. Sit there and see all the wonderment around you, all the beauty. Like, one of when we went fishing with my mom the first year we moved here, the first summer we were here, I was like, it looks like a Bob Ross painting. I think that's his name. I watch him on TikTok all the time. It's just like ASMR back then, right? But it's just like, like that's what New Brunswick looks like. We were by this river, we were fishing, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, this looks like a painting. And I'm like, it looks like it's too beautiful to be real. She's like, right? And I'm like, wow, it's just so gorgeous here. So that's like one of our favorite pastimes is to sit there and go fishing, go by their water and stuff like that. The kids hate fishing, but I love it. I've always loved fishing. I don't know. It's peaceful. We have the hermit, but in reverse. And I feel like in reverse, I feel like it's like exactly what he is showing you here. You know what I mean? They're showing, I can't remember what the card is. It's from the Energy Oracle card. She's walking down, she's got her bags packed, and she's heading down on this journey. And Spirit shines a street light for her and showing her another way. And I feel like that's what Spirit is showing us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know for a fact that things that I could handle in my life when this journey was happening came into my life. It's like, okay, this is an opportunity. Is she going to take it? Yep, definitely did. Okay, let's put this in her life. I literally in 2018 when I made that it transitioned to 2019 because it was the new year. I was watching someone that I loved watching doing live readings, someone I really respected, and it's just like she was pulling cards So I this is something I would do. I put my phone on the couch. I would listen to her. I'd listen to what she said, and I'm like, really absorbing what she was saying. So Spirit was just like, let's see if she's open to channel messages. So she would read for someone, and she would feel things, and I'm like, I would write those things that I felt, and then sure enough, she would say them. I'm like, wow. All of a sudden, all these messages came in for myself, and I just was like, okay. And it's kind of like you go into this trance where you're writing everything down. You don't hear nothing around you or anything. You just sit there and you write and you write and you write and you write. And all of a sudden your hearing comes back. You're able to, it's like you come back to reality. You know what I mean? And you're just like, okay, I still have those channel messages. One of the things it said to me, you could be a professional medium, if you wanted to. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, let's see what happens here. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do nothing with it. I had got myself a tarot deck. I had a Game of Thrones that became Throne Thursday. I didn't want to open because I wanted to keep it as a collector's, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm opening it. So the first one was it's the Fairy Oracle cards. Those are deeper cards, so it's hard to make daily videos with those. But it's just like, what did I feel about the card? What was Spirit telling me about the card? How did I feel about this card? I would write down the meaning, and it just started turning into that. And that's when daily tarot cards started. You know what I mean? It's just like sitting there, and it's just like, that same person gave me the courage to do a live, and here I am now, and I'm very blessed to be, have the tribe that I read for, so it's just like, you never know where life will take you, but it's just like, I still have those channel messages. I wrote the date. I wrote that I was watching this medium read for a bunch of people. And it was just like, that was the starting of everything. I was praying, and I started getting channel messages and, for my sister. So I told her everything, and I'm just like, okay, it just came all out, and I'm just like, sorry about this. And she's like, no, she's like, it's fine. And she's like, thank you, but it's just like, you never know how your life is going to transition. We all have this ability. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are we going to do with it? And I feel like that's where the Ace of Cups is like, I feel like in love, it's like you're holding your head down, but it's like, hold your head up, it's like, present yourself to the world as you want to be seen. Me, I'm sorry, I'm not wearing tight clothes no more. I wore tight clothes all my life. I had so many damn kids. Well, I gave birth to so many I had 2 kids. I gave birth to so many damn kids. It's just like, I refuse to wear tight. I want to be comfortable. I'm sorry. If you can't accept me being comfortable, then I like oversized sweaters. I like oversized hoodies. I like oversized jogging pants with graphic designs on them. I love my anime. I'm like, let me be happy. Just let me be me. Let me be happy. That's all I want. You know what I mean? If you want to accept me, that's totally fine. I don't really care. I'm just living my life. I'm being happy. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I feel like with the Ace of Cups, it's like, you know what I mean? Live your life to the fullest. Accept all these opportunities. I sat there and I transitioned from babysitting to doing cards in this other job. So it's just like, I feel like universe will put the things in your life when you are ready to handle them. If they're not in your life right now, it's because you need to do a deeper healing. You know what I mean? I definitely felt like, when my kids can handle it, when I can handle it, you know what I mean? It's a tough transition, but it's like we're able to do it, God has made it always happen. I feel like with the Hierophant, this is our higher levels of thinking. It's like, what are we capable of? We're capable a lot more than we think. I sit there and it's like, they came into the house. They did the freaking, they were doing the windows. It was unexpected. It's the same time I was training. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my job. Thank God my freaking manager is so cool, But it's just like, it's just like, I had no idea this was going to happen. And I was just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fired before I even start. They're like, nope, it's cool. I literally got a cold, worked through the rest of my training, and they were asking me a question. I'm like, sorry. And then I muted my mic, and then, waited for them to be done. I'm like, then I answered. They're like, wow. I'm like, yeah, no shit. But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, thank God they were understanding. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's the thing. It's like, that's the thing about me. It's like, I am who I am. I will tell you exactly who I am. When you have your CV, and it's like, I will prove, and I have, so it's just like, I have no problem working hard. I have no problem with that. I will lay it on the floor, but it's just like, that's what I'm saying. It's like turning that negative energy to something positive, making your dreams come true. You know what I mean? When things are able to be present in our life, they will be. And it's frustrating sometimes. But the thing is, it's just like, we have to understand where we are in life. It's like, okay, I have to understand that this is where I am in life. So it's just like, I have to just make peace with that. And when the timing is right, that what I want to happen will happen. Change and transformation. We have the death card. They have the sickle. We're going right towards this. We're going to the new moon. The forecast and projections is already up. It's, we're heading on to that on the 23rd is the new moon. So we're heading to this waning crescent. Unfortunately, here we had this snowstorm that won't go away, and it's just like, I'm missing the transition of the moon. But it's just like, oh my gosh. I love this phone because it's just like, I sit there and it's like all the pictures of the stars and the moon. Oh, it's just breathtaking. You know what I mean? But it's like the Six of Wands. If you choose to lift your head up, if you choose to sit there and move towards, acceptance, it's just like, you know what? Maybe I don't have love in my life, but maybe I'm not ready for it. Maybe there's some deeper healing that needs to take place, or there's an opportunity that's going to come up that, maybe that's where I'll meet the person that you know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like, we have to learn our love ourselves. That person isn't there in our life. That's fine. You know what? How can I fill up with things that I love? I love watching Wentworth. I love, cuddling up on the couch and watching one of my favorite shows. Wednesday, the Netflix series. Like, I already watched it. We're going to rewatch it again. It's just like, just lighting a nice, beautiful candle, just being comfortable, making the most of life out of every day. It's not how you imagined it, but that's where we are in life, we have to learn to accept that. So we start off with the Three of Swords, and this is in reverse. So carelessness, obsessive, and arrogant. Help offered may be unreliable. But I feel like, we have to allow these, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it's like we have to allow the healing to take place. The biggest acceptance to me is like, I cannot change the fact that Shane transformed that day. It was out of the blue. You know what I mean? He was not an obese man. He was a fit man, not healthy, but he smoked. You know what I mean? He did some things in his life that, with substances he shouldn't have. And unfortunately, it cost him his life. It's unfortunate, But it's just like, at least I always tell my kids, I got 10 years with them. You got so many years with them. At least we could say he was here as long as he could be. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, that's a gift in itself. I will always cherish those memories. Every time I see my kids, sometimes I'll get a glimpse of them and I can see their dad. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that I know he's still with us. He's transformed. It's not in the form that we would want. But you know what? It is what it is. We got to make peace with it. And that was the biggest thing for me, is accepting the fact that he is transformed. And the other thing for me was accepting where my life was at that point. And it's like, by God's grace and mercy and protection, we are where we are now. We are a lot better off than we have been in years. So that was all because we pushed closer towards him. That healing took place, and God put the other things in my life when he knew I was ready. He knew when my kids were ready. It's like he knows, like, you need to do this right now. So that's why this is why this is going on in your life. I'm ready for love, but Spirit is like, your kids need you right now. So it's just like, whatever, like, they reminded me, I was walking down the stairs and I was upset that, someone I wanted to be with, obviously it didn't look like it was going to work out. It is what it is. But, Spirit reminded me, everything you needed since she's passed has been put into your life. So that's all I can do. So we have the Ace of Cups. Creative ventures, physical action, leadership potential comes with self-sacrifice. This is a card of power and of activity. Sacrifice is required to produce creativity. Overflowing with emotions, renewal. This card pertains the possibility of divine inspiration and future hopes. Spiritual evolution. And they show this the dove here. It doesn't look like a bloody dove, but it is. That white thing on top of the cup. That's a dove. You think or maybe it's the sacrament that it's holding, because it looks like a bloated bird with a cross on it. Hey, but it's just like, it is what it is. But with me, the Ace of Cups is like, when you allow these swords to heal, it's like those divine blessings come in. Your Ace of Cups, your cup runneth over. Like I was saying, I sat there and it's like, how am I going to make money to help support me and the kids? Babysitting. It brought a lot of joy into their house. The kids would dance around to the Wiggles and laugh and play. And, when the kids were doing their school, the kids would sit there and they would want to learn. I'm like, okay, if you guys want to learn, you're more than welcome to learn. I just let their mom know, hey, they're watching French. Oh, that's fine by me. I'm like, okay. I said, my kids are doing school. So, they're watching what they're doing. She's like, I don't mind. I'm like, okay, but it's just like, I feel like that's what we needed in our life. That love and laughter. We would go out and play in the yard. We would play red light, green light. You know what I mean? And then they would come inside and they would all pass out and have a nap. It's just like, it was a lot of fun. It brought a lot of love and life and that we needed in our life at that time. It was an amazing blessing. It's something that I could handle at the time. It gave me the routine that I needed, and it gave the kids something to preoccupy their mind. So we have the Hermit. And I feel like, because like the Hermit is usually showing us, but I feel like it's like, yeah, we see the light now. We know exactly where we need to do. We know exactly what we need to put our energy into. It's like, the Hermit is like, hey, you're missing these things. You're not seeing this. They're showing with the Gilded Tarot, there's a snake in the path. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that you're missing here. And I feel like here, it's like, now we see the light, and it's like, how are we going to utilize that light? Are we going to actually sit there and make the change towards the light? Am I going to sit there and be like, hey, you know what? I'm wasting a lot of energy. It's like, I can't change that situation. It is what it is. So let's move forward in a positive way. What can I do to make that change? So headstrong, action, bitterness, abuse, self-delusion, untruthful responses, fear, timid, lack of communication. I feel like with the Hermit, it's just like accepting the light. I feel like it's like we know what to do now. I feel like when the Hermit is upright, I feel like it's like, hey, you're missing something here. You're not seeing everything. You need to take a step back here. You need to sit there and realize that there's more going on around you than you see. Take the blinders off. And I feel like when it's in reverse, for me, maybe you may agree with the definition. But it's just like, for me, it's like when they're showing that card from the Energy Oracle cards where it's like, you're heading down this path and they're like, hey, come over here. There's something better we can do. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's why I feel like it's like, be aware. Like, I feel like that's why they're saying, like, lift your head up, because you're missing opportunities around you. So we go to the Hierophant, and this is our higher self. Spiritual growth on earthly being social change, as needs change, environment and friend change. A lot of word of change. Social grace and blessings, partnerships, spiritual and social knowledge, good advice, stability, influence. So they're talking about the big star that's behind him. I've never seen that with a Hierophant before. It looks like he's also in a seated position. Usually he's standing. But it's like the star card, and we always think about the star. It's like, with us, it's like the Star of David at this time of year. You know what I mean? But it's also like, manifestations. I feel like with the Hierophant, it's like we go before, he's called the pulpit. So maybe this is like a call to go back to your faith. Me, it's just like, I had to do my journey alone to be closer to God, to sit there and, mass for shut-ins, tribal trails, to hear those messages, to be like those words of faith that pushed and carried me forward. It's like I had to purge all these feelings, everything I felt, all the things I couldn't feel, when it all happened, now I could feel, because I didn't have to, I wasn't sitting there and packing, the house up, or looking for a home to live, or rehoming the animals, or every other thing that was on my plate and then some, So it's like now I could just feel what I needed to feel and purge what I needed to purge. So we go to the strength card. The death, change and transformation. This new moon. And I feel like this is where they're saying what is no longer serving you needs to be cut out of your life. You have to make that stance. This energy is not serving me. This person is not serving. Maybe you're in a relationship where all they do is verbally abuse you. And it's like, this isn't working. Maybe we need therapy. Like, how can we fix this? We can't fix this. It's like, maybe it's time to move on. I don't bring you happiness, clearly, because all you do is verbally, abuse me. So maybe it's time for us to separate. We have to make that change. So hold a large sickle wheel. I'll know all that. So transition, great change. The past is left behind. Exactly. We're turning our back against it. We're like, this no longer serves us. I'm moving forward. I'm moving towards the light. This card and temperance is all about moving towards the sun. Major change and transformation that leads to a better life. You know what? Sometimes we have to do it alone. So we're not preoccupied. We are learning this is the transition of the Fool. Us as the Fool. We were talking about that earlier in the week. The Fool, that major arcana is the journey of the Fool. All the journeys he has to, or she has, they have to go upon to sit there and get to the world and start a next chapter. So it's like, we know what we need to cut out. We know what will lead us to success. The sun, the ultimate happiness. It's like, we may not want to accept it, but it's just like, like they said to me, yeah, maybe that person didn't work out in your life. Maybe not right now, maybe never. But the thing is, everything you need is already in your path. Everything you needed in your life, wanted in your life, is here and now. Everything is, here. It's like you cannot sit there and just concentrate on that one thing, And yeah, I'm an emotional person, so I feel it harder. But it's like at the same time, I accept what they're saying. You know what I mean? And that was the biggest gift to me, the biggest gift of clarity. It's like, yeah, it may not be in my life because it's not supposed to be meant to be in my life. I'm not seeing the bigger picture. I only see what I want to see. You know what I mean? So it's just like, like they said, if it was meant to be in your life, it would be. So the Six of Wands, you will be victorious. You make this stance, you will be the victor wearing the wreath in this situation. But you have to you're in charge of it. A task that requires hard work or battle is being presented. Adjustments of action, lifestyle, and creativity bring well-earned success. Efforts are rewarded. And that's the thing. Working on major change and transformation. This is the Chariot. A hard worker. Dedication. It's like, we have to sit there and it's like, maybe I'm that type of person. Anything I want in my life I have to work hard for. You know what I mean? I have to work harder than others. That's fine. But you know what? I will get there. I got there before. I will get there again. And I'll be dang sure that I will make sure that this time that those same mistakes aren't made. So it's just like, I'm in charge. I'm going to stay in charge. I'm not, it's my life, very much like the Chariot. I'm holding the reins, and I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to do what I feel is best for my life, for my children's life. You know what I mean? They're getting older now. They're making more and more of their own decisions. So it's just like, that's why I'm saying it's just like refuse to live in that energy. If you know what I mean? If something isn't like, maybe you've been asking for love to come in your life, maybe you need a healing that needs to take place. There's more going on you. They're like, you know what? You don't need that in your life right now because we need you to concentrate on you. You need to cut out the things that don't work in your life. Once that healing has taken place and you're in a good place, then that will come into your life. Maybe the person we want to bring in, we don't have all the information. And they're like, we're actually protecting you, dummy. And you don't even know it, So it's just like there's more going on around us than we realize. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Friday, December 16th, 2022. May the universe bless you good. Have a happy and safe, blessed weekend. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Bye.